I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. We're using our Force powers to find all the Rogue One Easter eggs on today's Nerdist News. Rogue One infiltrated theaters this weekend, getting away with an Alderaan-obliterating $290 million haul worldwide. But despite being billed as the very first standalone entry in the Star Wars saga, this movie turned out to be anything but. Jyn Erso's Rebel Crusade is so overstuffed with references to the originals, the prequels, and even some of the cartoons that viewers may feel the need to crack open a Wikipedia to fully understand everything that's going on. But no need to do all that homework on your own, you guys, because your best friends here at Nerdist News have a little gift for you, a ton of Rogue One Easter eggs. Actually, since this is Star Wars and it's the holidays, let's call them Life Day eggs. All the Rogue One Life Day eggs we could find. And just in case it wasn't obvious, this gift comes with a big old tag attached that reads, "Spoilers inside. Do not open until you've seen Rogue One, you dummy." Minus the dummy part, that's mean for the holidays. Let's just erase that. Okay, so let's start with the big stuff, like literally the biggest stuff in the Star Wars galaxy, the friggin' planets. Now, anyone who knows their way around the Outer Rim territories is familiar with Yavin 4. It was home to the Rebel Alliance in A New Hope, and it pops up again in Rogue One, serving the exact same function. You may have also recognized the lava world where Darth Vader goes to take a relaxing back-to-bath and work on his sweet puns. It's Mustafar, where he lost most of his limbs and skin in Revenge of the Sith. Hey, Darth. Maybe not the most emotionally healthy choice of planets to build your castle on. Feels like you might be holding on to some stuff. But whatever works for you. Speaking of Papa Vader, he wasn't the only big cameo in the movie. We also had walk-ons from R2-D2 and C-3PO. Jimmy Smits and Genevieve O'Reilly reprised their roles from the prequels as Bail Organa and Mon Mothma. A young Princess Leia and a living Grand Moff Tarkin both showed up, looking like they had just taken a ride on the Polar Express thanks to the grave-robbing magic of CGI. Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, the dudes who harassed Luke in the cantina, could be seen strolling through the streets of Jeddah just long enough to act like giant dicks, and then presumably jump on a space freighter because that place got Death Starred 5 minutes later. Also coming directly from A New Hope, thanks to a little repurposed footage, are Red Leader and Gold Leader. These guys help lead the charge in the battle over Scarif. Nice to know that they get in at least one win before crashing and burning in the Battle of Yavin. We also know one particular Imperial officer who is going to play a huge part in the continuing Star Wars saga. It's Rian Johnson, director of the next movie in the new trilogy. He and Gareth Edwards swapped cameos in each other's movies, so expect us to call out Edwards 12 months from now when we're doing the exact same thing for Episode 8. And finally, the cameo that blew everyone's minds, Blue Milk. It's good to see you getting acting jobs again, Blue Milk. We missed you. Now, Clone Wars and Rebels fans also got a few nods to their favorite cartoons. Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, made his first appearance years ago in animated form. There's also a blink and you'll miss it cameo from the galaxy's grumpiest droid, Chopper. The popular Rebels character shows up for a split second in the Yavin base. And even though we never see her face, we can assume that another popular Rebels character, Hera, is also in on the action. Her ship, Ghost, appears in a few shots, and she even gets name-dropped as General Syndulla. And speaking of these ships from Rebels, the Hammerhead Corvette, which got one of the biggest moments in the finale of Rogue One, actually first appeared on the small screen. And if you're looking for a few new intergalactic curse words to try out, may we suggest adding Carabast to your vocabulary. It's uttered a lot in Rebels, and we hear it once in Rogue One as the At-Ax are approaching the beach on Scarif. Finally, let's dive into some really obscure stuff. Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus are described as members of the Force-believing religious group, the Guardians of the Whills. While that may seem like just a small offhand reference, the Guardian of the Whills actually has a history in the Star Wars canon that stretches back further than A New Hope. When George Lucas was first developing A New Hope in the 70s, he planned to frame it as a reading from an ancient book called The Journal of the Whills. The idea was eventually dropped from the film, but the Whills would keep popping up now and then in ancillary material. Most notably in the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, where we find out that they were the group who taught Qui-Gon Jinn how to become a Force ghost. But their mention in Rogue One is their first official inclusion in the Star Wars universe, and hey, if the Whills really are the masters of Force ghosting, then maybe Rogue One didn't have quite the bummer of an ending that we all thought. Donnie Yen could still come back. Yes, it would be in shiny blue translucent form, but he was so awesome that we'll take him in any form that we can get. Now let us know if there are any Easter eggs, Life Day eggs that we didn't mention, other than the obvious ones. We know that the Death Star is a reference to A New Hope. We didn't feel like we needed to point that out because we respect your intelligence, you guys. But anything else, feel free to comment, and while you're commenting, was there anything from the earlier films that you were hoping to see in Rogue One that you didn't? And hey, does this first standalone Star Wars story get you excited about young Han Solo and beyond? Let's discuss. Did you check out the latest episode of Mothership? Well, it's all up on YouTube. We had the Smosh Brothers on, Hector and I had a Jenkin tournament, and of course it was the debut of D&D AARPG. Head on over to Nerdist.com and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Nerdist news.